In March of 2006, Westboro Baptist Church picketed the funeral of a U.S. Marine named Matthew Snyder, warning this evil nation against the soul-damning, nation-destroying sin of sodomy. His father, Albert Snyder, later filed a federal lawsuit against WBC. In October of 2007, a demon-possessed jury, representing the zeitgeist of a doomed nation, returned a verdict in favor of Albert Snyder to the tune of $10.9 million. As I recall, Snyder and his lawyers boasted that that would be the end of Westboro Baptist Church. They said that they were going to drain the resources of the Church of the Lord Jesus Christ so we would no longer be able to preach. They said it will set a precedent. Other people will be able to use this case as a sword. But God had different plans. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals overturned the verdict, and ultimately the case went to the Supreme Court, where they found in favor of WBC. Our message had exploded across the world in ways that we never could have imagined. This all according to the promises of God, like those found in Psalm 37:14-15. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Now remember, they said that their initial victory would be used as a sword. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. Albert Snyder, the man who had tried and failed to shut down the Church of God, last week revealed that he is a fag. He had left his wife and subsequently moved in with another fag named Walt. These two perverts, conspiring together, made the decision that they were going to sue WBC. And they had some of the most powerful people in the nation behind them, who would ultimately file amicus briefs in the Supreme Court, including a group of 42 U.S. senators, led by Harry Reid and Mitch McConnell, the VFW, the American Legion, and the Attorneys General of 48 states. You can read about this kind of stuff in Psalm 83. Keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. By the way, God dispatched Walt directly to hell shortly after the Supreme Court ruling, which brought an end to his folly. Now, after picketing Matthew Snyder's funeral, WBC published the following words: God blessed you, Mr. and Mrs. Snyder, with a resource, and his name was Matthew. He was an arrow in your quiver. In thanks to God for the comfort the child could bring you, you had a duty to prepare that child to serve the Lord his God, period. You did just the opposite. You raised him for the devil. God rose up Matthew for the very purpose of striking him down, so that God's name might be declared throughout all the earth. He killed Matthew so that his servants would have an opportunity to preach his words. We knew that those words were true then, but we didn't quite know the extent of just how true they were. So we thank God for that entire experience and all of the wonderful results of it, and the fact that it continues to be a platform from which we can preach. We would like for the whole world to know that all of the nuances surrounding it were and are directed by a sovereign God. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord. Call upon his name. Make known his deeds among the people. Psalm 105:1. Amen.
For more good Bible preaching, go to GodHatesFags.com. To find out why your nation is doomed, go to GodHatesTheWorld.com. For news, parodies, and documentaries about our doctrine, go to signmovies.com. For news on the pedophile rape machine called Catholicism, go to priestrapeboys.com. For more on the pure heresy and idolatry called Islam, go to godhatesislam.com. To see the mask peeled off the fag juggernaut, go to godhatesthemedia.com. And for WBC blogs, go to blogs.sparenot.com.